Good evening, and welcome to the Shadows of New Orleans. Tonight we're joining in with Kindred as they're gathering at the Elysium of the Anarch Baron. The gathering has primarily been motivated by a request from the Baron and his head enforcer, as it seems someone is moving on their territory. The concern, of course, is the French Quarter, a highly contested territory. Once Camarillon, the Anarchs hold it relatively firmly. But lately there's been reports of the mortals in the area disappearing, or occasionally even more concern being fed upon, only to discover they'd already been fed upon. Someone is hunting the region rather enthusiastically. Coupled with this has been a increase in the trade of drugs, among other things. More drunks, more junkies in the area. So the Baron would like some answers as to essentially who's wrecking the neighborhood. So to that end, the kindred, especially those newer to the city or looking to get more involved in things, have been invited to his establishment, which is relatively discreet place. Small cigar shop, as well as a upscale tavern, as it were, in the French Quarter, known as the Bar Tonique. If you guys walk in, the most noticeable fellow is the one you see pictured there, and he's kind of serving as a bouncer. You'd also notice a gentleman sitting near the back, and he appears to be perusing cigars, but mostly lounging. A rather large, well-muscled man, and then there's a single man working at the bar as well. Older gentleman. With that, I'll turn it over to everyone to introduce themselves.
Right, so Serena will get there. She will arrive a few minutes early from when they were expected to be there. She's wearing her customary, leather black suit with a trench coat. Has no weapons when she checks in, because I'm presuming the bouncer's going to check them for weapons. And yeah, she will wait off in a chair. She'll like sit up at the bar and wait for other people to arrive.
Jones will roll up in his usual getup, all completely covered in whatnot. Turn in a small knife to the bouncers if they ask for it, and he'll just wait around for everybody else to show up.
All right.
So everyone will walk in and she'll be dressed just in her usual, for lack of better wording, hippie-looking attire. She will kind of look around briefly and then sit down at the bar and wait.
Finger just kind of walks in, and if someone tries to stop him, he will look at them funny.
Fair enough.
He's armed, and so unless someone takes his shit, he's gonna walk in with his gun.
And no one really says anything, but as you guys are kind of arriving, the guy serving as the bouncer kind of looks to the barkeep, and he kind of nods and moves so he can keep an eye on the door. And this fellow kind of gestures with his head to not really another room, but kind of like a more private sitting area. There's partitions and stuff, and starts to head that way.
Yep, Serena will stand and follow.
Jonesy will follow too.
Will follow as well.
All right. Guys get to the back seating area, and he kind of real casually grabs a chair, spins it around, and sits on it backwards and gestures to the table in front of him.
Yeah,
Jones
Serena will sit. Sorry.
Jones, you're okay. Good Lord.
Sorry.
Jones will take a seat in the regular way because he's not a cool kid from the 80s.
Finger kind of stands there.
Alrighty. Well, assuming everyone's kind of filtered in, he's going to look around, and everybody will say, For those of you who don't know me, I'm Gerard Asher. Most people around here just call me Ash. And I guess, well, if we were a bunch of arrogant old world pricks, you'd call me the sheriff. I don't know that I necessarily have a title, but when someone needs their teeth on the curb, I'm the guy who comes in to do it.
Jones gives him the double thumbs up.
Avalon just nods.
Good, I see this should be a relatively brief and quiet meeting. It's a relatively simple matter. Someone's screwing with our territory. We don't know if this is a mortal crime, everyday crime. There's been a lot of junkies in the area, that sort of thing. So that's quite possible. Just drug trade is up, and that's bringing down the population. But we had a couple of instances now where we went to feed on individuals, not me personally, but other anarchs went to feed and discovered that those they're feeding upon had already been drained, and thus they're feeding. Well, let's say it got a little messy, and I'm tired of cleaning up messes. Somebody's feeding on people in our territory. Unless there's another reason why we'd have people walking around with significant blood loss and no injuries. Either way, it's a matter we need to deal with. To that end, there's a rather rich reward for those who resolve this issue. First and foremost, that reward would consist of sanctioned territory. The Baron and myself will back your territory claim and give you ensure, that is, that you have a secure place to feed. Secondly, and just as important, of course, and he reaches into his pocket and pulls out a bundle, sets it down. He says, I got 5,000 cash for each individual who helps resolve this matter. Lastly, there's a gentleman in the city named Slick Willie. Slick Willie runs a pawn shop. Slick Willie's pawn shop has areas not open to everybody. I can get those areas opened to an individual who were to resolve a territory issue. Well, I've got the pertinent details on the table. Anyone got any specific questions? Anyone got interest in handling this matter? Or got a referral? I'm willing to throw out a finder's fee if you're not going to deal with it, but you tell me who will.
I'll help deal with it.
I'll look into it.
Yep.
Always glad to see some fellow willing citizens.
Point of order. So, when you say resolve the matter, what is it? What does that entail?
Oh, well, at minimum, resolution would consist of substantial evidence indicating who is at fault and where to locate them. Ideally, resolved means that the matter is completely ended, that they are no longer feeding in our territory. I recognize that might entail people crossing bridges they're not prepared to cross, which is why I'm willing to put out a range of successes. Sure,
No,
you
no,
come
I'm
to
not
me.
talking about that. Not any of that. No, I mean details other than there are people feeding here that are not us. And
Well, that's about the gist of it. There's people feeding here that aren't us. We need to know who they are, where they're staying, who they're affiliated with. That would be of course, a more diplomatic lead in. That gives us the option to recruit. Me, I'm a little less political, so I'd be inclined to locate and eliminate. But that's why I have the position I do, not the position our good Baron has. So yes, if you just want to track down who is that's feeding on in our territory and what their method is, that would constitute resolution because it gives us the necessary tools to pursue the matter to a conclusion.
this would have nothing to do with that paltry little unsavory opium den that I've been moving product for, would it?
I couldn't speak to that. As I said, we've had reports of increased junkies in the area, increased drunks, but who knows? More money moving in the city, city's doing better. Maybe it just brings in that crowd too.
He goes back to scribbling notes. He has no poker face. He keeps looking at everybody else at the table and just kind of shaking his head.
Jones is just texting. Is it standard diff, John?
Yes.
Okay. I got 2 successes.
I know Jones, and I know Avalon. I don't know you.
She'll look over and say, "My name's Serena. Yours?"
Clever. Good to meet you.
She nods. "Good to meet you too."
Well, you said you are going to assist. What do you bring to bear?
Well, I'm pretty good at finding things, and I'm pretty good in a fight.
Oh, okay then. Is anybody else involved in this endeavor other than
Jones races
me
it.
and Jones?
Okay.
Man, we have the room.
Asher stands up and steps outside. He says, "I'm sure you'll let me know when you're ready to handle the matter."
Yes, yes, my good man. Oh, man, you may take this firearm too. There you go.
He takes it and kind of slips it in his waistband for now.
Then, how shall we proceed?
We can see if anybody's got any contacts in the area, see if they've heard anything, and then go and check out the area ourselves.
Already working on that. Although if you have different contacts, you're more than welcome to text them as well.
I've made a great deal of money as of late because of an increase in shipping issues. For some awful reason, opium has become back in vogue. New Dan has been set up. I do not know if these two things correlate, but it is interesting, is it not?
A little bit. Apparently, South American weed is also pretty popular right now.
Yes, yes, it is. I made a great deal off of that too. I like money. And just so you know, if I do involve myself in this endeavor, you all may have that money, that pocket change. boons he was offering. I'm in it for the fun and the thrills. Well, that's not true. I've already got more money than that. I pay my driver more than that a week. So
Money's nice. Favors are better, in my opinion.
Indeed, money has its uses, but
to see in what direction you would all like to take this adventure. His notebook and taking little notes while he talks to you guys.
Serena just is waiting. She's texting on her phone, but yeah, she's just waiting for everyone to say they're ready.
What is it you think is going to happen tonight? You seem to be something. The person that said they were ready, Joey.
No, she said I said she was waiting for people to say they were ready to go.
Well, it seems to me we should go check this out real time. Do you not think? We would find the most active feeding grounds and simply watch instead of eat. When it comes around, we will probably notice, and we should probably either follow or else.
Sounds like a plan if everyone's got the information they can get otherwise.
Well, you don't seem to have gotten any information. So
I'm texting some other people I know real quick to see if I can get any information on if anyone's moved in recently in those areas. After that, I'll be good to go.
to blend.
Like a chameleon.
Jones can blend, and he's rather observant. What will the rest of you be doing? everyone is kind of sitting there, and Jones is texting, and one is waiting on the phone, and Avalon has gone silent. Finger gets up and he knocks on the door to get the sheriff.
Okay, and he comes back in relatively quickly.
Help, sir.
What can I do for you?
You hear me, John?
I did not. The last thing I heard Marcus was asking for his assistance, and he said, "What could he do for you?"
He says, "Yeah, look him. These individuals need a strong leader type, and a catif like me. I understand my nature causes people to not want to listen. If you can help quarterback this, that'd be amazing."
And if we need looking for, if you're looking for tactical leadership, I can assist. But as far as going in asking questions, he kind of gestures up to his face. He goes, "This is not the face of someone that generally gets a lot of welcoming social conversation."
You make a valid point, sir. You may go now.
Jones will raise a finger and say, apparently the new City House hostel is under new ownership and it's within the territory, so that might be something worth checking out.
I'm curious, sir.
That's the problem with such a rich territory. Lots of hotels, lots of restaurants, taverns. You can't own them all, and so all you do is try and keep everything kind of wrangled in and discourage people from edging in on it. So that would be a very valid starting point, if nothing else. Yeah. Pulls out a
One question, though,
iPad,
Sheriff.
sets it on the table, pulls up Google Maps, and kind of looks at where it is. He goes, "Yeah, it's on the edge of the territory too. If I were going to start nudging in, I'd start on the edge. You don't go right for the heart of it."
We're assuming that they are vampires. Jones, not to be, but when the poor, if you will, when they pay, do they not sometimes donate blood payment to get money?
That is the thing.
Valid point. And
Hear
someone
me out. My my idea is this. Or uh, that influx of kindred would have popped. I myself would have noticed because, well, they have to get here. Is that they were already here. But to what end? Best to go just down there and see what it is to see. I mean, there's really no other way to do it from afar, unless anybody can think of some way we could scry, as if such thing exists. So, do you want to go to the hostel or do you want to go to the thick of it? It's up to you.
Well, you make good points. I mean, certainly it's something that bears looking into.
Nice not getting no shorter. Let's go. Serena, you said you were good in a fight, yeah?
And she'll just say yes as she is walking out the door.
Let us make haste.
Right, so you guys are gonna head to the over to the hostel there.
That seems like a good start, in my opinion.
All right, as you guys head
Before we
out,
go,
go ahead.
he will ask whose territory we're heading into exactly.
Well, technically, French Quarter all falls under the Baron's jurisdiction. As far as that edge, he hasn't specifically doled it out to anybody at this point, but So you guys start to head out. The sheriff will grab his what looks like a motorcycle helmet, put it on, and he gets on a bike. He'll make a gesture, assuming you guys have vehicles, for you guys to kind of follow him.
Down into the sewers I go.
All right. You guys will head towards the hostel by various means. When you get there, there's a across the road like a coffee shop, and they're closed, but they still have the tables out on the sidewalk. And Asher's sitting at one of the tables, and he kind of gestures with his head over to the hostel itself. It's slightly run down, but not bad. Just for the neighborhood, it's on the lower end.
I will pop up from the sewers, and as soon as I get above them, I will pop off his gate too, because Nosferatu.
Okay.
Finger, having no subtlety whatsoever, walks right up to the door.
Sure. I mean, it's a hostel, so they've got like a front desk just inside the door.
This is in a pretty bad neighborhood, right?
It's not a bad neighborhood, but it's definitely the lower end of the French Quarter.
Is it the kind of neighborhood that my fame works?
Yeah.
He gets to the front desk. Ha!
The guy at the desk kind of stutters a little bit. And, what can I do for you, sir?
You know who I am? Does he?
So what?
Do you know who I am?
Oh, I did not hear you say that. So I don't know if you're cutting out with the. He kind of looks at you and he goes, "Well, I've heard rumors."
Good. So when I request something of you, you know it is in your best interest to give it to me?
He looks at you and he kind of, he nods a little bit.
A little bit, what you said?
He says, I don't, I don't have a problem helping you, of course. That's what we're here for, but I do have to,
What?
and he kind of stutters a little bit. And he says, well, there's you, we got the family, and then there's a couple other players in town, too, and
Okay. Who are you afraid of the most right now?
And he looks at you and he kind of looks back into the office behind him and he says, well, that is a very complicated question.
Right.
Because
I see.
you are here, but the boss's guy's back there, and well, they don't really have a whole lot of restrictions when it comes to dealing with us. So
Okay. You can say I punched you. Real hard.
he leans forward and he says, under his vest, real quiet, and he says, I'd like to help you, sir. I really would. In fact, I'm a big fan, but well, we got a couple other players in the city, and well, some of them come down from the other big cities. They've been getting involved, and well, I got my girl, and I don't want them going after my girl either.
I feel you, dog. I'm just gonna see your boss in the back. That cool?
And he kind of just says, "Well, of course, they can't expect me to try and stop you. It's
You just stand right there. Thank you very much. You have a nice day."
give me a perception alert as you walk past them."
I'll roll.
Watching him. Subtle after the one other experience I've had with this man.
I got success.
Can I roll as well, John?
Were you?
Yeah.
You guys actually came inside?
Yeah, Jones did. He's just kind of
Yep,
sliding
so
up
I
next
said-
to Finger.
I said I
Next to-
kind of go up behind them, but am keeping an eye on Finger, knowing he's not very subtle.
Which means that Serena's also going up with them.
Yeah,
She
then
is.
you
So she
guys
was next to
can
Avalon.
also make one.
Cool.
Perception alertness.
Alertness.
Yep. I gotta look which way the ties go.
I got 2 successes. Also, I just want to point out, still under Obfuscate 2.
Opposed rolls. Tie goes to the original, or tie goes in favor of the opposition?
Ty goes to Defender.
So whomever you determine to be defending.
So if one person's trying to be discreet and another person's trying to notice that,
Yeah.
the discreet individual would be the defender.
No, I got 2.
Alright, so Finger, you kind of just shrug past him. This guy's obviously just a peon, that sort of thing. As you do, Serena, you're fairly alert on this door. He's heading into a back office that common sense tells you that that's probably a possible threat type place. But Jones and Avalon notice that as he turns to let Finger pass, he reaches under the counter, and you real carefully kind of like feels around with his fingers, and you notice him press like a panic button.
Or he's just feeling around for it.
Well, he puts his hand on it and presses it, yeah.
Oh. Her eyes just kind of dart between bones.
Jones is under
She just
Obfuscate.
kind of looks at Serena behind the counter. Oh, what did you do?
And he kind of looks at you.
He gets there. He like,
Marcus, did you cut out or were you waiting for me? Gotcha. Yeah, the guy behind the car he kind of looks at you guys and goes out. I don't know what you're talking about. And the boss is back there. That's who you got to deal with. I just worked the register, man. I mean, you need a room for the night, or you need a little something to go with it. That I can do, but
At him, like, you gotta be fucking kidding.
Serena will just
Impressed at his lie of not knowing what she's talking about.
Serena will just say, well, "What kind of services do you offer?" She'll step. She won't go to follow Finger. She'll just step and like lean on the counter, looking down at this dude.
and he goes, well, can't don't want to assume your preference, but we can get some get you a room and some company, let's say, and we got some of the beverages that are not as readily available in this area.
And she just kind of raised an eyebrow. Beverages are they? I might be interested. I assume you're thinking I came in with these people, but that's just really an unfortunate coincidence. I have no affiliation with these people.
That would be a let's go with them. You're saying manipulation subterfuge?
Yes. And I'm actually looking up how something works really quick, too. Of course, it's fucking performance. Skillless characters, no fucking use for it. Okay. I still have to get used to fucking using rolls for dice rolling. I never remember the codes. Damn, 2 successes.
Right. And he kind of buys into it. Like he's looking between you and the group, like he's not sure, but he says, well, yeah, that happens all the time. Small lobby and all, but yeah, I mean, we can set you up with a room, some company. We've got these. A lot of liquors are like the true European absinthe is a big one. We've got, and he kind of leans over the counter. He says, we got one guy brings in like real deal, legit moonshine. None of this bottled and licensed and mass produced off a store shelf shit. I'm talking real mason jar, no label. Brings it in his old rusty ass pickup truck in a wooden crate after midnight every week.
She'll nod, and she will nod, and she's gonna engage him in conversation, kind of keep his attention focused on her. And I'm gonna. Do I need to spend a blood? All right, and I'm also gonna spend a blood point and roll my charisma plus performance for presence 1.
Okay.
And what would you like me to roll, if anything, to keep his attention on me?
I think that just would be the presence roll, which 2 successes is gonna be enough.
Oh shit! That's only 1 because I forgot it's 7, not 6, but it's only 1.
Okay. Still fine. Excuse me. So he's definitely focused on you at this point. You're doing business with him. You kind of sold him the story, that sort of thing. Right, so he's pretty focused on you. Jones, I assume you're still just hanging tight, watching everything?
No, he's going in with Finger.
Okay. So it's a small-ish office, but you're able to kind of stay on his six, so to speak, and get in a good spot. And the kid sitting at the behind the uh, desk back here is like your. He almost looks like he's trying to play gangster too hard. You know, he's got that like the dress shirt, pop collar, suit coat over it. You know, a smug look on his face, obvious, sidearm where people can see it. Like, hey, look at me type thing. And he just looks up at
Huh?
the guy behind the desk uh, in the office looks up at you and just goes, "You need something?"
Hey, John.
Hello.
Knew I was coming, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not nowadays sure who you are. You must be one of the local muscle, but
Not local.
look, man, what I'm getting at is that this here is a establishment ran by the Genovese. We're not from around here, but since the family can't get this city straightened up, and you doing your lone wolf thing, I mean, you got, I know who you are, but you ain't gonna get this city straightened up, organized, and running on your own.
However, you're not going to move anything into or out of this city without dealing with me. And y'all didn't even, I mean, that's just disrespectful.
Well, like I say, you doing your lone wolf thing. I mean, sure, you got some claim to this region, but you don't run the whole thing. You ain't that solid yet. And well, this year's free game. We picked her up from a foreclosure company.
And y'all doing business in my town.
Well, see, it's kind of where the hang up exists is, you know, your town, my town, everybody's town. You know, you calling it yours.
Are you saying I don't have the right to call Nolan's mine?
As I said, you seem to be an important figure, probably a potential partner even, but as far as the city itself, you're a new guy. You don't necessarily know anything.
John, is this the place that the is this the den? Is these the people that was moving the money based off what I know?
Give me a int plus streetwise.
And plus streetwise?
Yes, please.
Okay. Does memory count?
Uh, no.
Got 2 successes.
All right. Well, I would tell you that this would be like their for what they were bringing in. This property would have the right features for what you're looking for. You can't say definitively this is where it went, but it did go the right direction. Shared architectural features.
If you want your opium to actually make it here, stop it completely, we will at least talk terms. No, I didn't hear a word.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay. So, what was the last question you asked him that you guys heard?
He said, if anything to any of your stuff, your shipments, your merchandise to make it all the way here, then we will at least need to talk terms.
So, you're the gatekeeper, the tax man, what have you?
Man.
You, you certainly don't look like customs.
Also, you don't know how to share.
Well, sure I do. You know, you playing over there. This part nobody was playing, so I come in and play over here where nobody's playing.
Belong to somebody, and you didn't even ask.
Well, I'm not sure who it would have belonged to. I mean, as far as I know, the family claiming hotel.
What is this family people keep talking about?
What's that?
Family people keep talking about. They're not paying me either. I am upset, incensed even.
Well, and that's certainly a matter you may want to look into. They've been here a lot longer and a lot more widely than we are.
That's
We just got
not them. We're
ourselves a
talking
couple.
and continue.
We got ourselves a couple taverns, this nice little hotel. Give people a place to relax, feel good, wind down, and if they want to spend a little bit of money,
Bring in opium.
well, I mean,
Started in.
I wasn't going to name it as such. That's kind of asking for problems. You put a name like that on something.
And if you don't want the wrong people to find out about it, and you'd like for it to continue to make it here, we need to come to an agreement.
All right, well, let's have some conversation then. I mean, I can help you out insofar as this here establishment. You know, hear what you have to say, pass it on over to my boss. You know, I don't know who he was working with locally that brought us in, but you got a better offer. I'm sure he's open to hearing it.
Out of character, there's no way to even know if this guy's a vamp or not, is it? This is a regular dude, isn't it?
Well, as far as you know at this point. I mean, aspects if you have it. I don't know if a simple awareness roll would tip you off on that or not.
Nah, it's all good. I don't. He didn't even care. He just will negotiate deal, and then actually he goes. But more important than that, there are rules and regulations in this city, sir, to be observed that are not necessarily financial in nature. what I'm
So
putting down?
now you want to talk etiquette? Is that what we're getting at? What are your rules in this town that I should be aware of?
And one of the things we like to do is share, especially where you come to somebody's house and you eat. Sure that you care of how much food they have before you eat it all. Ain't no reason to be a greedy gum. You gotta eat.
Well, can't say I can entirely argue. You make valid point. Not entirely sure where we're going with it, but I recognize it for what it is. Yeah, sharing is a relevant matter.
Because you are things is outside of things. I'm gonna kick it up to my boss, and my boss and him are gonna have a wonderful conversation. And that's a meeting I'm gonna need you to set up quick, fast, and hurry.
I see. So you want my boss and your boss to have themselves a little powwow, talk business.
That's about the size of it.
All right. Well, I mean, we can see what they have to say, but I mean, he had himself an invitation to come in and do what he does. Someone asked for his services.
Have you know that there are people who feel some type of way about this situation. Now, I'm not a nobody. I'm kind of a somebody, but everybody got a boss.
All right. So be it. I can pass along a message. That's about all I can promise outright.
Till then, we're going to have to negotiate payment. Because that's right. At the time of that meeting, we will negotiate payment. Does that seem fair to you?
So you want a de facto payment until then?
Oh, because then you can say all manner of things can be misconstrued if you pay me now. Of course, be deferred. I will respect that. Come back and the meeting doesn't happen anytime soon. Well, his feet twice on the ground and hopes to God that Jones gets it that he's supposed to appear like in some place creepy next to this guy.
Jones will in fact move around behind him very cautiously, and then drop off his skate.
All right. He so he doesn't even see you. Is that what we're getting at? Or
Yeah, he's just kind of waiting behind him.
okay.
And he will just kind of slowly put one finger on his neck, and I have the touch of frost flaw, so it's probably super fucking cold.
Probably.
And also Nosferatu, so my finger's probably all gnarled and shit. There's a lot of unpleasantness going on, is what I'm trying to get at.
He kind of jumps. And then he looks between the two of you. He goes, You guys are like him, aren't you? Like the boss.
So you have that. I'm going to take it.
What's that?
That is a nice pistol you have there. I'm going to take it.
Okay.
Some questions we do not ask, my friend. Set up the meeting.
Yeah. His eyes kind of get wide, and he steps back, or tries to.
What now?
Before realizing Jones is right there. And then he nods his head real quick and he goes, Right, yeah. The meeting. He sends a message. He reaches down, picks up his phone. Sends off a message. And he says, Right, I mean, you got a number you want me to contact you at? Do you want to come back and follow up? I don't know how quick he's going to get back to me. He's a lot of irons in the fire, you know.
We should give him the sheriff's number or the Baron's number. Get between them, or so that we're out of the picture, or what? What do y'all think?
It'd probably be a bad idea giving him like a higher up number. Jones will hand him a little scrap of paper with a phone number written on it, and he will say, "This person knows how to get a hold of me, and I know how to get a hold of the boss." That's the number for one of his retainers.
He nods and he says, "Yeah, I'll." He kind of holds it up. He says, "I'll make sure he gets this." And
It would behoove you to do so in a rather timely manner.
he nods his head and says, "Quick, he quick sends that off and he says, all right, well, you guys are here. Is there anything else? I mean, you guys, you can tell he's pretty shaken. He's like, you need me to show you around the facility so you know what your negotiation entails, or he says,
Well, sure. We'll take the nickel tour.
copy of the books. I don't. I don't know what you're looking for here, what my level of responsibility to you is, but
Here's the deal. You leave the books with me, and my friends will go on the tour.
Oh, also the secretary outside. I've got eyes everywhere, and if I hear anything has happened to him or his girl, I'm coming after you. Got it?
he looks, he says, his girl? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I always thought he was gay. He's real soft spoken, mild, but you know, my boss, he does what he does, and well, they got their way of doing things, so
Well, that's another message you need to pass on to your boss.
he says, well, right, yeah, you betcha. So he's going to lead the other three of you on tour, is that?
Yeah, I guess.
Be memorizing the books while they go do that because I have eidetic memory. When I read over them, I'll just remember everything.
All right, well, that's fair. And he gives you two sets of books. One, obviously, like the actual like hotel and stuff, you know. Then the other books are, you know, what they're bringing in, what they're selling, that sort of thing. They don't take names for their customers for that stuff, but they've got, you know, brief descriptions, how often they've been back.
Very well. I may be able to use this information later, so I just memorize it and then have I guess Jones is going to go on the look-see. Our character.
Yeah.
What's Avalon and Serena doing?
Serena's still talking to the one dude. Since he pressed the panic button, but if someone pops out and says, "Hey, you guys are going on the thing," she'll go on the thing.
All right, so she's going on the tour with the boss. So when the guy comes out of the office, he kind of looks at the front desk guy, and the front desk guy goes, "You know, boss, they were looking to talk man in charge, and I figured that was you. So, you know, hope I done right. They seem like they try to do just do business. You know, that one back there, he say he deals straight. So I didn't want to stand in the way of that. That's didn't seem like a good plan." The guy just goes, "Yeah, we'll get it sorted out." And then he kind of motions into the sitting area lobby for you guys to follow.
By the way, John, I still have the guy's gun. I took it from him. I wasn't playing around. I really do have it in my hand.
Yeah, I assume that, to be honest. So he sets off, kind of gesturing to the sitting area, and there's a you know lounge couches and stuff, but there's a lot of like vaporizers and misters and stuff. And he says, we got your typical sitting area, good place to relax with some friends. Little bar, kind of a street bar cabana type atmosphere. All the walls have like graffiti style art on them. He says, so just a place to casual fans. You can kick it down here, socialize. Then he heads over and he says, and of course, over this way we got your sauna over here. Obviously, that ain't steam kicking up. If it was, people wouldn't pay what they do. He gestures and he says, but up past that, we got private rooms. The rest of this floor and the upstairs. Some people want their company or get to know somebody and want to continue those conversations privately. That's the place to do it. And all those two are equipped with good filters, that sort of thing. Yeah, says, and of course, in this way all the real deal business happens, down. And he takes out a key card and swipes it for the basement. And he says, of course, staff and premium guests only get key access, but he heads down and kind of motions to see who's following.
Drums is still following.
Serena is also following.
Ellie, are you following Jones and Serena?
I said yeah.
Okay. So he kind of leads you down, and you can see down here it's a lot of, it's hazy, it's a lot of different strong odors mingled there. And he says, and of course, this is where we got all our good stuff. Emotions, and he says, we got our friend Jay over there. Jay can hook you up. He's got a pretty good variety of product. Mostly likes to deal with different Colombian, that sort of thing, but he's been bringing in some of the more exotic stuff lately, getting good business. Bosses like it, makes good money. They can come in here, get to know the clientele too. And by that point, of course, your clientele is in a state to no longer be of any concern for possible threat. So that goes a long way with earning the bosses some bonus points. Anything specific I can get you guys? Jay can set you up here with a hookah. He's got some quality opium just coming in. A lot of options. What can we do for you? A sample product. I mean, go back to your boss, be able to know what quality we were talking for your negotiation. We lost Marcus.
Serena's just gonna decline. She's too busy. Like, are there guards or anything?
You don't see any guides specifically down here.
Okay, she's watching the establishment. She's not gonna accept
Pretty
anything.
solid security system when you came in. Card swipe and heavy door, that sort of thing.
Okay. Are there any cameras? In fact, I can make a perception alertness. And I don't see shit.
No, you don't. Not a botch, though.
Mm-hmm. There's cameras everywhere. There's a camera in your, hookah. There's a camera inside of you.
I got one success on looking for cameras and junk.
One success, you would. There's not cameras, but there's definitely the access control security. People aren't just coming in and out left and right. They have some sort of Wi-Fi. You notice some sort of antenna system, so they're getting communication down here.
Jones will just kind of look around and then politely pass on the sampling.
Sampling.
That get you reasonably caught up, Holly, or?
It is what it is.
And Serena's just gonna motion for the one dude to keep giving them a tour.
I don't know what's going on with Marcus, if he's out for the night here. Or... I sent him a message, but... Alright, so he's going to continue kind of through the basement, and he says, here's our storage, and he kind of looks at Jones, and he says, you can kind of get an inventory of what kind of product we've got, how much of it, that sort of thing. I'm assuming you want to see that, you and Mr. Finger there.
He'll like walk around and kind of make little memos in his phone on what they have.
All right. There's there's definitely a fair amount in the way of opium, uh, different strains of marijuana, that sort of thing. Some cocaine coming in.
He'll take note of all of that.
All right. Well, you're going through that, and the rest of you guys are in the right in the hallway. The the manager's phone kind of or the manager's phone buzzes, and he looks at it. And he says to Jones, he says, "Sounds like they will be having someone get a hold of you momentarily or very shortly."
He'll nod.
As he leads you back up and rejoins the main group. And just as he does, everybody give me a perception alertness. All right. you guys,
Upon noting what you said in the private message there, I'm going outside. Just be like, excuse me. I need to step outside.
all right. Jones, you would have noticed as well, like a raven tapping at the window. And as soon as Avalon started moving for the door, it flew off.
Oh man, I wanted to talk to it.
You also noticed, and Serena with 2 successes, you noticed as well, the manager who's with you is kind of seems a little bit more nervous.
Serena will just she's looking and say, "What did you do?"
And he says they told me to set up a meeting with the boss. He said that he's going to get hold of him to set up a meeting, but he told me to stay here. They'd pick me up, and I don't want no part of no meeting. I'm just here for the family. Run the gig. They said, keep the books, keep them clean, keep everything running smooth and quiet. Because this wasn't what it was about. Make sure the bosses are happy when they come through. That's all I was told to do. Now I'm going to some meeting, and I got Finger coming in this place. That ain't keeping it quiet. You're gonna have my ass for that. And you can see he's getting more worked up and more nervous.
Jones is gonna look at him, and he'll kind of pull down his little face mask so he can speak clearly, and say, "You really thought you could live a quiet life while involved in organized crime? Are you fucking stupid?"
Well, it is what it is, man. I mean, the money's good, but damn, the boss is rolling in, and we got city bosses, and they got the family and the general, man. The elders, they just said, the Genovese, all the uncles said, "Oh yeah, it's a little operation. It'll be fine. We set everything up with the family already. We put in we're going in where nobody else is. Won't be a big, no competition."
Well, that was certainly wrong, weren't they?
Well, I fucking would say so. I got Finger in here, and he's saying that this is part of his territory. I got you guys with him, and find out he ain't even the boss. He's got a boss above him, and he fucking bosses everywhere, man. Shit. Right. I'm way out of my league in meeting.
Friendly word of advice. Next time anyone ever tells you that there is going to be no competition in organized crime, they're fucking lying to your face. Do not trust them.
Well, you move in on a territory that ain't supposed to be claimed, That's the smart way to do it. Don't start a turf war. Take something no one else is taking yet.
There's always going to be someone who wants it.
Well, yeah, come to find out that the guy who wants it is fucking Finger. That we're on his ground. I mean, about the only thing we could have done worse is start going after either his people or the family themselves. All right, I'm gonna switch over then and take care of Avalon here. So your Raven, well, dude's kind of having a little breakdown. So
Yep.
he's not coherent momentarily.
Outside. Okay. Inside. Yep. I walk outside and look for my lovely Raven pal. Hold up my arm for him to land on.
He flies right up.
What is it? And she asks him as she starts patting his head and his feathers again.
He says a couple of others were feeding on some carrion back there, but it's not roadkill. And dry.
No.
Real dry. No blood. Back behind the building. And more importantly, there's any kind of like looking for words for it, and he motions with his head like towards the road, where cars are parking. And he says, 3 of them coming this way. Big ones. All together.
3. Are we talking about the same thing here? Empty bodies?
That's what was in back, but there's 3 vehicles coming this way too.
Cars. So I was just going to say, are you talking about the cars or bodies?
No, the bodies are in a dumpster in the back.
Interesting. Well then. What color are these cars coming out?
Yeah. Just kind of looks at you and he says, just gray. Plain gray.
Okay.
Very plain. All the same.
All the same. Anything else that you've noticed?
Yeah, he just shakes his head a little bit. Almost human-like. And then he hops off and he looks back and he says, bodies don't taste very good.
They don't taste very good. We'll find you something when we're finished here.
He nods and flies up to the roof.
Okay. Walk back in. And look around. Is this guy still going on his tangent, or is he done when she walks back in?
When she would get back in, he's just kind of like wrapping up and just like, now he's like in meltdown stage where he's just crying. You know, like the freak out part has now led to meltdown.
If he's crying, Serena's just gonna backhand him and tell him, "Get yourself together." You think it's gonna be better for you if they walk in here and you're fucking crying?
Oh, you're expecting guests?
He says, "Well, I don't know when they said they were going to send someone around to pick me up, take me to a meeting."
Well, if I understand correctly, vehicle's approaching. Her eyes kind of dart between Jones and Serena.
He's just gonna look at the dude and say, yeah, you know, she's right. You should probably pull yourself together, because, you know, if shit's bad now, they come in and see you crying, probably gonna get worse.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, he starts to get his shit together. And he
She seems to be contemplating
says,
something else.
"It doesn't help that your boss took my gun. I mean, man's supposed to feel safe without a gun."
Serena's just gonna roll her eyes at him.
As Avalon's standing there with no weapons.
Serena's just gonna look over at Jones and say, "Well, do you think we should still be here when they get here? Should we leave him to his fate?"
Well, I just got a message from one of my guys saying that his boss wants to meet in half an hour. Club of my choice. And I sent him a club. And I've sent the message to the Baron. So I reckon we ought to head over to the club.
And she nods.
Juan will nod.
Jones will go up and grab Finger and let him know what's going on.
Finger will nod. They will hand the guy back the books.
Avalon is going to head outside and wait for the rest of the group.
All right. There's the first one outside. Give me a perception alertness.
Good.
As Serena leaves, she'll just flash the what's his face, the boss man dude, a smile with her permanent fangs as she walks out the door.
3 successes.
All right. 3 gray cars come around the corner, and as they turn, you see windows rolling down and guns hanging out.
Oh, shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and pop off these gates before heading out.
Okay.
Are there any plants nearby?
Can we just go out the back?
Yeah, you could go out the back. They already went out the front. They would have to come back in the front first
Yep.
and then go out the back. As far as plants nearby, yes, there's some, not many. It's pretty
Something.
small, city street, but there's a couple at least.
Cute. Ow, stop biting me, Dresden.
So your perception alertness, you notice them pulling up and swinging guns out before they are lined up to open fire and such.
Cute. Get the fuck out of here.
So
She's made emotions her head towards the cars. And Serena walks out.
So I'm gonna make a dexterity athletics roll. Now, where the building is, there would be an alleyway that I can like grab her and duck behind, where we can have cover, right?
Yeah, I mean the building sits on a corner, so there's obviously two alleys behind it and such.
And then, are they coming from the corner or from the opposite way of the corner?
They just like turn, so they're coming towards the corner the building's on. They turn like a corner, like a block down.
Okay. Yep. So I'm gonna make my roll. Is this a roll I can spend willpower on?
Oh yes.
Okay. And is there going to be increased death?
No, because you guys noticed in time to start getting the hell out of the way before they've opened fire.
So that is, I didn't botch because I had the one success, but I failed. Because that's 3 ones, because the dice gen is like, fuck you.
Can I just run out the back?
The athletics or whatever.
Yeah, Dex Athletics, if you're going to try and like dive for cover type thing.
Yep. Wow, this is going to be epic. And it's going to be really epic. Just watch my whole popping 3 dice.
So you spent the willpower, so it's not a botch, but it is still a fail.
This is why I have fortitude.
Half after so 18.
Mm-hmm.
And he treated us bashing. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
With me, and I'm sure that would be another roll, but excuse me.
Alright. That's not what we're looking for. Nope. I use the dice code. Alright. So.
Trust in friendships.
Serena gets hit with, as they open up, she, the first shooter clips her pretty good and she takes 3 lethal. So then you can roll your soak. And
Now,
bullet,
since this is bashing, I can use stamina on it as well, correct?
yes, you can
Oh,
stamina for bullets as well.
and I take 3 bashing. Well, 2, but
Yeah, I was gonna say isn't half. Bullets only do half damage on vampires.
so then do I get another rule to try and get out of the way? If that's their first volley?
Yes, you'll be able to. This is looking, I swear bullets counted as bashing, but I'm not seeing it in here.
I thought they did too.
Mm-hmm. They count as bashing against vampires unless it's a headshot.
Yep.
Okay, that's what it was. Alright, good enough.
What the fuck? Nope, still don't make it out of the way.
Ah, here it is. I found it.
What, did you need me to reach out and grab you?
Probably because the dice roller is saying, fuck you, you don't get to do anything cool today.
Because
Like, you just don't get to do anything to do.
Before you said that.
Alright, well then the basically there's 3 cars, each have a shooter, so Jesus Christ, and apparently I'm retarded with dice
Try
rolls
to
tonight.
pull Serena into hiding with me.
Sure. Let's go with what is a grapple? Like a dex brawl to grab her?
I think so. Dex Brawl at 7, I think, is a grapple.
Yeah, I can go with that. Dex brawl to grab a hold of her.
My Dex is 3. I have to see what my Brawl is. I fancy that at 5 total. At 7.
Remember, half that bashing damage, guys.
Mm-hmm.
I am spending a willpower to make this very clear. 6 successes. It's 7. Nice.
Alright, well,
6 with the willpower. Awesome roll. 8, 10, 8, 10, 8. Like, seriously? See, I pretty much grab her and just yoink. Get back here.
Okay.
alright, so she drags you out of the way. Which means the manager goes down, riddled with bullets. But the kid managed to, or the front desk guy is ducked behind the counter. He's hit, but he's not dead yet, although he is pretty injured. But the rest of you have all gotten to cover at this point. For finger, that just meant going out the back.
Um,
And the cars have passed by, so it sounds like they might be circling the block, but that you're in the clear for now.
he's kind of
Can I get a
looks at Serena and she says, "Yeah." And I was going to tell you guys before that happened, once we were outside, that there's apparently drained corpses in the dumpster in the back.
Can I get a perception alertness on any like license plates on the cars?
Absolutely.
Cool.
And while Avalon is saying that to her, Serena's just gonna pull out her pistols, make sure they're loaded in case she needs to shoot back. She's gonna like put them under her, like she's gonna hold them, but just under her trench coat, so like some passerby doesn't like see. Well, if you're walking by during a drive-by, I mean, either you live in Detroit or, you know.
I got 3 successes.
I'm listening for sirens. I mean, it was a shooting.
Did I get anything on did I get anything on the license plates with 3 successes?
Oh yeah, you get all 3 plates.
Awesome. I'm gonna forward those license plates to my police influence.
Sure.
Cool.
You would get a notice back at about that time too that they were given a stand down for a false call for a false panic button at one of the hotels.
Nice.
Now, the alleyway that we are in, that Serena and Avalon are in, is it one of the ones that happens to have a dumpster that has one of those bodies? And I will go check.
Sure. I mean, there's the 2 alleys and they intersect, so you can certainly get to it. And finger is in the alley. So you guys have all kind of regrouped into this alley here.
Yep, Avalon and Serena are like peering into dumpsters.
The one dude that was behind the guy who was the mini boss and the counter guy, what are they doing?
Manager dude's fucking dead. He got shot the shit up.
You're gonna have to say that again, Marcus. The guy with from the counter, he's ducked behind the counter with multiple bullet wounds, but still alive. The guy who was in the office,
the other guy,
the manager, is dead.
Oh.
He got hit with strafing fire. So the bodies here looks like a couple of junkies, and they have their wrists slashed, and they've been just kind of flung in there.
Cute.
I'm gonna
Is
make.
there any actual blood in the dumpster itself, or is it literally they've been flung here and were killed elsewhere?
Give me a perception investigation.
I was just gonna ask if I can make a perception investigation.
Let's do it together.
Successes. Oh, see, this I can get 2 successes on, but not, on 4 dice. But, not getting shot on 8 dice is like.
Successes plus.
Dying guy? I asked him what the combination is.
You're asking the car guy for the safe combination? Yeah, he'll tell you. He'll say,
Then I'll kill him. Then I go to the thing.
Okay. I don't even need a roll. He's bleeding out. He's had 5 levels of health damage from bullet wounds, and he's immortal. So.
Brace him. That'd be awesome. But no. I guess. It out. Wait, we're supposed to actually be trying to negotiate with these people. But something tells me, do I need to make a streetwise roll to realize we've been double-crossed?
Give me a wits and streetwise.
And then both Serena and Avalon got 2 successes on their investigation rolls.
Yeah, so it looks like these bodies were dumped here, but not that they died here. Like they were. There's a little bit of blood, but certainly not as much as there should be.
Gotcha. Hmm.
3 successes, John?
Yes, Marcus. 2 plus a willpower. All right. So, you would know that this. Go ahead.
Good. Intelligence plus a occult roll to see if they were killed with any. The people in the dumpster were killed with any occult significance.
No. Sure, have at it. In the meantime, with your wits and streetwise, you realize this was really, they didn't even care about you guys. You guys just happened to be here. This was a cleanup crew shooting intended to take out their own people. So they couldn't talk anymore.
Okay. That's cool. So taking their shit would mess up the negotiation, basically, would it not?
Oh, well, it would, because technically these were the people relevant to the conversation and the property. You rolled me into
So best to just leave it. Yeah, best to just leave it there and let them come back and get it themselves to realize that we're trying to do business for real.
You certainly could.
Huh?
What's your 8d10? Okay, I see. Um, so the corpses were not killed in any kind of religious or cultish significance. Looks like looks like a couple of junkies got high and committed suicide type thing, and then someone just threw them out.
But looting this place would mess up the.
I had two people talking. I did not catch what either of you guys said.
Okay, so we have not heard the van swing back by yet, correct?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna take a few pictures of the bodies with my phone, and then peek my head out to see if they're coming back around.
All right. You can kind of hear them in the distance, possibly get. It sounds like maybe they're getting a little closer. They swung a couple blocks out.
So she will just like say that so that everybody else knows.
Should probably try to get the fuck out of here before they come back.
Jones agrees. Out of nowhere.
Yep. And Serena will, yeah. If Avalon does not have a ride, Serena will give her a ride, and she will offer one to Jones, a ride to Jones as well if he needs it.
He'll take it.
Avalon is going to look up towards the roof. Because that's where she last saw her bird pal.
Okay.
He's circled up a little
And then,
higher
yeah.
a couple times, but he's still above you.
Okay. She's going to
So I
kind
will-
of make a motion
Sorry.
for him to go back home, as it were.
Right, so you guys are just heading out?
I'm gonna take us to the club where we're supposed to meet for these negotiations.
Perfect.
On the way, Serena's gonna ask that if Avalon or Jones have the number for the sheriff dude. Let him know where we're going. If he wants to meet us there, bring someone of his own to negotiate, perhaps. But it's always good to have backup,
Right.
especially because we know these people are willing to kill to keep their secrets. We should be prepared for them to just try and kill us.
Jones will message everything he's been sending to the Baron to the sheriff.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty basic rundown of everything that's happened.
All right. Asher says he can meet you there. He's got authority to handle this kind of conversation, but being you guys start the conversation, it'd be good to have you guys present, provide a framework for what the actual discussion's about, that sort of thing. When you guys meet at the club, Asher will arrive about the same time. And he says, all right, can you give me a rundown of what exactly we're discussing?
Yeah, it was gonna be the whole partnering up and then coming under our little fold, I guess, but now that they have shot at us, I think that's a little off the table.
Don't take the shooting personal. That wasn't for us.
Doesn't matter if it was for us, the fact that they were so reckless in it is a problem in and of itself.
I've taken a look at all their books, memorized them. No time. So if they're decide to try and give you is kind of low, I'll let you know.
That's fair.
All right. Shortly after, a gray car pulls up out front. Yeah, they probably shouldn't use some. Try this use. All right. And this fine young fellow walks up. And he comes in and he says, I've been told I'm looking for the man who calls himself Finger.
Hey, how you doing? Good to meet you.
He says, yes, it's a pleasure, I'm sure. I am Carlo Genovese.
Make you Italian?
Well, I guess by heritage, yes. I'm originally from New York
Okay then.
myself.
I'm from the South. This, sir, is if these other individuals would like themselves named, please do so. Tell me now. I will. Otherwise, you will remain nameless.
Jones just stands there silently.
Yep. Avalon's in the same boat.
Then, uh, again, you first.
You're talking to Carlo?
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Finger, as I'm here at your invitation, what is it that the Genovese family can do for you?
Well, first and foremost, you can stop manufacturing killer opium. That's not good for business.
Yes, we heard that some of the product we had was perhaps a little too successfully refined and was pushing some of our clients over the edge.
Yes. You have to stop doing that. That's not good for anybody. Also, to kick up and deal with this is my friend Ash here. He speaks for another person because we all have a boss. For so if any part of this negotiation is not his particular brand of vodka, he will stop me. So
What is it that I can? So you want me to bring in less pure opium? Is that's our primary right now?
killing people dead because ain't nobody ready for that.
That's fair. They said this was a new product looked promising, but it does seem a bit aggressive. All right, well, we can certainly look into alternative options there. What else?
Also, a percentage will have to go to the owner of said territory, which is my friend's better, and he will arrange the payment schedule for that. But a percentage must be paid for the privilege of operating in this particular area.
I see. I guess I was under the impression that's what I was already paying for.
To whom were you paying? That is the question.
Well, that's, I guess, a fair question, and crossed the point and of beating around the bush, as it were. All right. Man by the name of Mr. Rochelle Jr. He obtained permitting and licensing for us, as well as facilitated the sale of the hotel in the first place.
Who this person is? Is it?
He is a Camarilla Ventru. That's
He's one of them.
publicly known.
You see, Mr. Ash, I believe I know why. Problem, do you not, sir?
And what
Here's because I'm the one make sure that your product gets here. I will cut that price in half.
I see.
You can operate here, area, and that individual will no longer receive payment. This territory, which is not his, understand that if you make that choice, you will be allying with a different faction. Are you prepared for that choice? To leave.
Well, I certainly got some concerns if I do this, and as you say, reneging on the agreement I have currently, which will ally me with you and put me at odds with my current contract holder.
However, your holder will not be able to receive anything, as I well much in control of the movement of certain items into and out of this particular wonderful port city. Us shipping. Don't band with us. Territory to operate in.
see. Well, I think at this point, my bigger concern is the particulars of my contract, which I will have to resolve independently of this negotiation because it seems it was given to me under a false pretense. Not that that has any bearing on you specifically.
Oh, but it does, Mr. Genovese. Because while I do facilitate the transfer of certain material, some of that material is explosive. Need of me to make some of that available to you, well, what I'm saying is this. The crime, organized and unorganized, can all be all under our umbrella. We can hold it together. We band together, and that pretty boy will not know what hit him. What say you?
Well, there's a logic to that. I do like to think of myself as an independent contractor.
50-50, down the middle. What do you say? No more that 100%. Him. Locals and the tourists. We can't have that.
No, it's a rather generous offer. I think I'm open to seeing how that goes.
No underground business discussed betwixt us. And we keep that individual, we muscle him out of the entire end of that. What say you?
Well, I think I could get behind a little bit of vengeance contract. That could be arranged.
Out of the French Quarter and the Garden District, though, because that is very pretty. Hit them where it hurts in their pockets. That is fun.
All right, so we're gonna market the rest of the city. Stay out of the French Quarter. I bring it in, you make sure it gets in, and we split profit 50-50.
Mr. Ash, could you pull up that iPad again and show the areas in question, please?
So he pulls it out, marks off a couple of territories.
So he sides with us, and the Baron will cede these territories to him for.
He says, if he's going to cooperate with us, these territories will be turned over to him to use as he sees fit. Should he see to use those as marketing grounds, that will be his prerogative.
And we keep the Ventru out. And true anyway.
He says, well, what happens when my old business partners come rolling back? Are we in agreement that I will have assistance for said event.
I myself will apply. Will bring all of my considerable pull to causing him as much difficulty as possible should that event occur.
Says I can live with a negotiation between you and I on that matter. Mr. Asher, was it? Do you have well, Camarilla calls it a harpy. Document this transaction? Assuming that that method and format will work for you, Mr. Finger.
I'm inclined to agree.
Very well.
Though I did get a look at your books. You can get yourself a 30% more profit if you just change a few things around. We'll talk.
Yeah, I'm sure we're gonna have to renegotiate a little bit. My I should say, redesign my approach with the
Just a
different
little
territories.
bit.
Shortly after, the harpy shows up to document his the, the the agreement here. And he'll basically record it as discussed, unless you guys want to rehash it. But
Is there a finance or streetwise roll to see if this is pretty fair, right? It's basically a non-aggression pact, and then we will work together if old boy decides to cross the river to try and get some get back on him.
yeah, I'd say that's a fair way of looking at it.
All right, cool. But he does have to kick up to the Baron some kind of bread.
Right. Yeah, these are
All right.
basically paying a tariff for operating here.
Also have to make sure that in there he accepts the Baron as boss in charge or whatever.
Recognize them as local authority.
Yeah. All right, cool. As long as that's in there, we're good. And this contract is binding with your Mr.
It will be recognized by the family. Yep. Well, by my family, but not necessarily by the family of New Orleans. They
Family. Who are these family people?
He says, "Well, you may need to make yourself acquainted, Mr. Finger. I know they're. Ooh, excuse me. Good lord. Currently, they're led by Silvestro Corolla, I believe. But they've been doing this a long time.
Well, okay. As long as we have a binding agreement with you and yours, works for me.
Says I'll keep my people in the borders and pay my taxes as needed."
Is the feeding thing understood? Does he get that? That you can't. The character do we that?
Yeah, that was part of the territory range.
Okay, cool.
Asher says, "I suppose while the harpy is here, we should document that I did in fact fulfill my end of the arrangement." I suppose that means we must get some territory issues worked out there. And we will have to get some cash transactions resolved too.
This is true. But as long as everything is everything, we will. This is the beginning of a beautiful friendship, I think.
Well, it could be a good, solid relationship, yes.
But essentially, what I'd like to do is because I have to go. Me and the Genovese guy can hash out the stuff on the side, and y'all can continue the rest of the scene. And that's what Finger will be doing over to the side, and then Ash can speak to the rest of the group. Is that cool?
I'm probably about to head out too because it's getting late.
Yeah, I assume the remainder will just be getting payout, making sure it's recognized, acknowledged that you guys were paid according to the agreement.
We'll just pass along everything else in Blue Book, but you guys can continue to talk, and the Genovese guy and Finger will step to the side and go talk business, BS, boring stuff while y'all get monies and fun stuff. Okay?
Yeah.
Legit. Alright.
Alright, so if you guys have any questions for Asher, you guys will all be getting $5,000 cash, as well as a small territory that he recommends near the French Quarter to better facilitate his ability to help defend it. But you are free to do whatever you wish.
So we got the $5,000. What was the territory thing? I didn't really. You cut out during that.
Basically, he's giving you guys a small territory, but outside the in the unclaimed territory.
Okay.
For you to basically, he says pick a region this size, but I suggest you pick one close by to us so I can better help defend you should it come to that.
Okay, and Serena will just like kind of look at Jones and Avalon and say, "Well, I hear that these things work better if you handle them together."
True.
Yeah, okay. Sounds good.
She'll nod. She'll say, "We can pick later if that's all right with you, Asher."
I don't have an objection to delaying. We will have the harpy here record it. Make note that the three of you are owed, well, four of you, including Mr. Finger, are owed territory in regards to a matter handled per agreement.
And she will nod and say, "Well, it seems we're done here then, at least for now."
Does Avalon will make sure to hand them all one of her business cards. That way they at least have contact information.
Yes, doing the contact information thing.
Yeah. Jones just hands out a couple scraps of paper with his number on it.
All right, and then I think, yeah, that sounds like it.
All right. Well, that will wrap us up. As the local anarchs have successfully poached an outside contract back to their side and away from the Camarilla. This has been another Shadows of New Orleans vampire scene. Thank you for joining us, players for playing, watchers for watching, and we'll look forward to seeing you again the next evening.